All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Holy Family Sunday, YouTube edition. I thought I'd take a different angle today. We have this wonderful creche here at the church. I've never heard it called that before. For me, this has always been a manger scene or a nativity scene. But apparently at this church, we call it a creche. Sounds good. Well, today, for Holy Family Sunday, I've got two mini homilies. Hopefully the timing works out. I want to talk about family in general for the first half, but then I want to focus on a brief explanation regarding our gospel story today, the finding of Jesus in the temple. So to start with, we've got this notion of family. And I went pretty heavy on that a couple of days ago for Christmas, but we can revisit the issue a little bit here. Do you remember the fourth commandment by chance? Honor thy mother and thy father. Now, I can't remember the last time I mentioned this on a YouTube video, but I have my favorite bit of trivia regarding the Ten Commandments, and it's this. Only 3 of them are directly about God. The first 3. Worship God and God alone. Give him a day to be especially close to him, and honor his name and speak of him with respect. The other 7 are God's expectations regarding our behavior toward one another. Don't kill, don't steal, don't give in to envy, don't lie to get ahead or to harm another. Honor your marriage vows. These are all things where God is a little bit more in the background. Honor thy mother and thy father is commandment 4. It's the first one regarding us dealing with one another. So you could make the argument that keeping our family dynamics healthy and appropriate is one of the most important things we can do in our lives. If you have a good family life, you are well equipped to cope with other issues in life and the variety of sins that plague you. But if there is a broken relationship in your family, be it husband and wife, parent and child, whatever, there is a great damage that is done there. Great indeed. If your relationship with your parent or your child is completely dysfunctional, I kind of think of it like walking around with a broken leg. I mean, yeah, you can do it. You can have a cast made of your other parent, your siblings, your children. You can walk on the crutches of your friendships. You maybe even have a wheelchair of important and rewarding work that keeps you rolling along in life. That's all good stuff. But at the end of the day, your leg is still broken. And no matter how used to it you get, nobody ever wants a broken leg. The takeaway here, family matters a lot. I cannot properly put that into words. Family matters. That's all I got. It is not easy. I'm sure every one of us is ready for a little alone time after our Christmas holiday parties and all of that as we shift into normal life again. I'm not even going to talk today about when and how divorce is necessary, because sometimes it is. The point is, being a part of a family is not easy, but it is essential. It's as essential as having 2 working legs when you've got somewhere to go. And we all have somewhere to go, don't we? All right. So, with that said and done, let's get into the gospel specifically for a couple of minutes. It's the finding of Jesus in the temple, and it's a strange reading. How many of you have struggled with this one while you were praying the joyful mysteries of the Rosary? That's mystery 5, by the way, of the joyful mysteries. I have a quick anecdote to share. I've noticed something about the kids I've got in this school. If parents ask me, hey, how's my kid doing in school? Seriously, there's like an 80% chance I could truthfully look this parent in the eye and say, oh, they're doing great. They ask wonderful questions. I just wish they'd let me answer them before they bounce around to the next thing. Seriously, I mentioned this anecdote because one of the school kids, before school started, he asked, why do we say that Jesus was sinless if he was disrespectful to his parents by wandering off in Jerusalem? And then, ironically, he wandered off before I could answer the question. I'm like, come back here. I have an answer for you. So, just had to share that today as it's our reading today. As I best understand the issue, Jesus had two households. Mary and Joseph are one. The house of his heavenly Father is the other, best represented by the temple in Jerusalem. On one level, this is merely Jesus honoring his heavenly Father. So when my student was saying that Jesus was sinning by breaking the fourth commandment, he was kind of missing the point of the story. Jesus didn't belong to Mary and Joseph in quite the same way other kids belong to their parents. Even here, Jesus was about 12 years old for the story. Jesus was already beginning to withdraw from Mary and Joseph. It's not out of disrespect or neglect, but because his divine mission takes priority. And although Joseph died before he really had to deal with this reality, for Mary, this painful lesson only got harder over time when Jesus was 30. He was baptized and he began his earthly ministry, and he encountered many dangers and enemies along the way, and Mary had to let him go. When he was 33, Jesus was crucified on the cross, and Mary once again had to let him go. His loyalty to his mother is great, but his loyalty to his heavenly Father and his divine sacred mission of redeeming mankind, it was even greater. A lot of us have to cope with a reality like that at some point in our lives. I'm referring to the reality of letting go of someone. But don't worry. When it comes to God, there is always a happy ending in spite of the suffering and death that perpetually surrounds us. Mary and Joseph lost Jesus for 3 days. And they were fearful. They were almost panic-stricken for those 3 days, and they were filled with joy upon finding him again. So maybe the last time you heard this reading, you didn't hear it properly. This is a story of loss and recovery. It was a loss of 3 days. How long was Jesus dead after the resurrection? 3 days. He was terribly lost to Mary and to all of us. But he was found again in the upper room, on the road to Emmaus, in the breaking of the bread. The relief of Mary and Joseph at the end of this gospel reading, when they found Jesus in the temple, that was a little taste of the joy awaiting all of us at the recovery of everyone and of all things, for that is the promise of the resurrection and of the world that is yet to come. As we continue this octave of Christmas, God bless you all, and happy Holy Family Sunday.